Hi, welcome back to Meta Rules TV, where the underground meets the playground. I'm Jeff Rappaport.
What? I'm Atkins.
Shoshannah Flach.
Michelle Messina,
From?
Nice Guy Booking Championship Bar.
And Karena Russo from Front Row for Life.
Right. So the first question I want to ask you guys is, what's the most awkward part of being a promoter?
Dealing with band parents.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I had a situation the other day where a new band, I mean, they only played like 3 shows, but the kid spiked my microphone. And, well, he said, stay metal, and he threw my microphone on the ground. So, of course, I go back and I said, you ever throw my equipment around again, you'll never play here.
Right.
His parents start yelling at me, telling me he's only 16 years old. That was a little awkward, but still, I mean, you teach your kids respect.
Right.
That's what you do. You don't teach them to disrespect other people's things.
Well, good parents would have been like, made you come over and apologize.
Exactly.
Not, what are you yelling at? He's only 16.
Yeah.
This is only his 3rd show. What are you yelling at? No.
He's got to learn.
Well, he's going to stop sometime.
Yeah.
I had a mom yell at me telling me that her kid will never play here again because she had to pay like all the other parents. They play in my basement. Why do I have to pay to see them? It's called supporting the kid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You buy their Girl Scout cookies, right? So.
I mean, I'll
Parenting.
support my kids no matter what they do. In bands, I'll pay for every show. I pay for shows when I don't go to places usually. You know, when it's outside
Right.
my own show. If I go see a band to support them, I will pay, even though most of the time I don't have to.
Right.
You know,
Unlike me.
Yeah.
I've seen
Who never pays.
I've seen people like try to get into shows where they say that they're in the band, and I know because I've booked them before that they're in a different band. So that's a little bit odd, and I'm like, yeah, she just told you she's in that band. She's not in that band. So.
We're girlfriends and
Because
boyfriends
they don't
probably
want to
too,
play.
right?
They don't want to pay.
Managers who are really wives,
Yeah.
they're not a manager.
How many, is there like, do bands get a certain amount of like guests? No.
Unless you're a touring package,
Right.
where, you know, it's part of the contract. When you draw 5 people, I'm not letting everybody
Yeah.
draw in for free.
Yeah.
That is for touring bands included. I will stop a guest list if the show is looking bad. You know, it's just like, you want your money, you're going
It's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't let
You're not going to
everyone
let
in for
every
free.
single person that walks in this door get in for free because, you know, it's not going to work.
Right.
Most of the bands respect that.
Okay. Which band has been the best deal for the money? Like a band that you had and you were like, oh my God, this was a great deal.
Oh boy.
You don't like any bands, so no.
I mean, as far as like they took a pretty, like they didn't ask for much money and then they drew a lot of people.
I don't even think that is a good answer,
that
a good
happen?
question, because that doesn't happen ever.
Oh.
Yeah, and I only really help with like local shows, so
Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
pay anybody really.
No band draws a ridiculous
Yeah.
amount of people and asks for a little amount of money. It just,
All right. Well, how about vice versa? Who's been the most overpriced?
I can't answer that
Yeah.
question.
Say it in pig Latin.
Spell it out in boggle.
I'll write it
Boggle
down.
tears. Yeah. What's the most common thing to go wrong at a show?
Can't find the sound guy.
Where's the sound guy usually to be found?
Where's the
We're gonna
sound
get
guy?
shirts made that on the back it says, "Where's the sound guy?"
Is it,
Yeah.
You can't
Because
find
he's
him?
never behind
Well,
the soundboard.
We always know where he is, but
Love you, Steve.
Yeah. He's the same guy we see at all the shows, right?
Yeah, pretty
no,
much.
I
Yeah.
think the mic, like with sound, the mic, like sometimes the singer will pull the cord out a little, or he'll hit the button, and then all of a sudden he can't, you know, you can't hear him.
Or
He
they'll
doesn't
hold
know
it
why.
like way too close to their
Yeah,
mouth that
it's
it
like-
just sounds horrible.
Yeah, that's
And
Which is
you-
most death metal bands. Right?
But that's kind of what they're going for.
Yeah.
Or like they stand in the wrong position after being told not to, and all it is feedbacking because you're just in the wrong spot to be standing.
They had to put an antenna on their head to get the right reception going.
Should do the thing where you paint like little red footsteps on the ground, like you stand here.
Now, what's the scariest thing you've ever seen happen inside Championship Bar?
Aside from us showing up.
Oh yeah, that's
Can we
dangerous.
talk about that?
Story here.
Scariest
Scary.
thing I've seen. I don't know if we should talk about that either.
Mm.
Then
Is it
we're-
simple?
What does it involve? Just name like the 3
Yeah.
elements of it
Well,
without
we are-
getting into the story.
We are in Trenton, so you know.
Yeah.
Let
You
your
know what?
let your imagination go wild.
I do have a story.
Oh, good.
There's a young man that used to come to shows in my basement. He was a kid, and he actually committed suicide last year. A couple months before that happened, he was at one of the shows, and he's really skinny, and he's a young kid, so when he dances, sometimes he's doing the two-stepping, and it was like a thrash show.
Right.
So the metalheads that were there were not very happy with the fact that he was trying to two-step a little, and he was barely moving, but he was falling all over the place a
It was
little
the
bit.
Havoc show, and of
Right,
course
White
they have a
Desert.
shirt that says
Right.
"No karate, in the pit,"
Right.
and they were playing at that
Yes,
time.
and
So
some of the people that were there were kind of aggressively like pushing this kid, like when he was doing the circle pitting, they were like trying to, get him to fall over a little, knocking him into the band, and then the band was it was Havoc, they got a little, like this kid keeps falling into me,
Right.
and I actually had to go get Troy and say, listen, you have to do something, because I was actually worried that the kid was going to get hurt. And we had to kind of like keep him out of the pit for a little while, but I really saw that it was some of the crowd, and I went over to somebody and I said, it's not funny, he's not trying to hurt anyone, just
Right.
leave him alone, And I've never really seen anything like that at a show, like ever before that or after that. So I just thought it was a pretty pathetic, expression of whatever they were doing. They were just mad at this kid, and it didn't make any sense to me.
People
So.
can be ugly sometimes.
Yeah, just
Definitely.
because he was, like being a little, he was falling all over himself a little bit, so I don't know. That was a little. I was
well, that's
very.
the kid I thought was drinking, right? Underage.
He might have. Yeah, I think he was.
Like he
was,
had a
like,
wristband
not there.
on. One of his friends
he
gave him
got
a
caught on
wristband, and
Yeah, or he was outside, I think, with his friends. So, yeah, that was scary for me.
All right. What about, you probably can answer this, what about the scariest thing you've seen happen outside of it or nearby?
outside
A
of
championship.
outside of it. I've never really. Oh,
Did
the
you
Entomb show.
Were you in a tomb there?
Yeah, we had
Wow,
Entomb. It was
that's very
Memorial Day.
Oh, I would have loved to have gone
It
to
was
that. I had
Memorial
no idea.
Day.
How did we miss that?
Yeah.
Actually, one of our friends was cutting in between two cars walking to his